Yeah.
Alright, here, I'll do that.
I deafen so I'm not in there.
Oh, thank you. Alright, so we'll teach you how to access the Geometry Dash database stuff. This is not hacking, this is just accessing database stuff. Like if you want to search up a level or search up user data based on IDs and stuff, and you want a script
Not
to do
deafened.
that, you don't have to be deafened. So you're first going to need to download something called Wireshark, and make sure you get the extension thing. I think it's called like WirePip or something. I forget the name. But you need to get that because that's how you use it for connections and stuff. Let me close all this out. Open it back up. If you did everything correctly when you install it, you gotta choose the internet you're on. It's gonna bring up. Oh wait, let me not do that yet. I'll also make sure you have GD open. Let's prepare something that basically what Wireshark does is just intercepts like a TCP packet thing when you're doing something that requires accessing the database. Like, easiest example would be searching up a level. Like if you just search up a level ID, it'll be like, oh, you're requesting the database to look up a level. So we're gonna do that. So, well, I got that ready. I'm just gonna do an ID because that's easiest. Let me try this again. Local area connection. I don't care about my IP, whatever. And then we search. So we just made a search for that ID, and then we stop. We press the red arrow on this thing, so we can stop looking for stuff. Then we search through all this, and we gotta find the thing that says Geometry Dash. So yeah, there's a bunch of stuff going on. There's a bunch of things that went through because I'm also on a Discord call. So a lot of other stuff are going to pop up. But we got to find the thing that says Geometry Dash. It's in a TCP packet, so we can search by TCP. And it's very clear. It'll like say on the side here that it's a Geometry Dash thing. You'll see it. It just takes some time to find. Probably at the very end of this or something. Oh boy. Oh, here it is. There it is. It just takes a while to find it, but you'll find it. Actually, oh wait, no, I'm stupid. It's under HTTP. I should have been searching by that. If you can't, sorry if you can't see this. It should be called like post database HTTP database / get something.php. But that's what it is. This is the thing you need to find. Get GJ levels 21.php is the tool used for searching up levels in the Geometry Dash database. Yeah, it's not TCP, it's HTTP, sorry. So then you right click, follow TCP stream, and then it gets all the good stuff you want to know. And this is basically all the data you can work with. So, doesn't look like anything right now, but when you look more into it, it actually shows you stuff. So, there's the game version, which is 2.1, binary version. Most of this isn't useful. String means the ID or something you searched by. I searched by 10 million, because there's a level ID with the ID 10 million. It also works for names. Like if I just searched up like catastrophic, for example, then it would show that the search I used was catastrophic. And of course, it would show more stuff because more levels would appear on the page. Whereas if I type up an ID, only one level will show up because every level has only one ID. But I searched with this, and if I search by name, there would be a lot more results. But anyways, so this just basically shows what I searched, and this shows what I got. And what I got is well, there's the ID. I think the name is also 10 million. Yeah, the name is also. Oh, that's probably not a good example to use since the name is also 10 million. But so, yeah, sorry if this is hard to see. I can't zoom in on this, but this shows you pretty much everything you need about the level, like the ID, the name, an encoded thing. This is an encoded message that you have to decode from base64, which shows the description, the song name, all that stuff's in this line. How do you know which is which? Well, I use an old, semi-old, thing that, Geometry-Python library that basically does what I'm explaining to you. Except it's for Python 2, so it doesn't really work. So I'm right now coding a request bot that's for Python 3. But I was able to search up what this stuff means, and I wrote it down. Currently, this is just for searching up levels. You don't have to do it just for levels. What I showed you is just for looking up levels, but if you keep that Wireshark thing active as you do anything that would involve...
After Gonna drunk.
No, Lackey. If you do anything in Geometry that would involve accessing database, like I did looking up levels, for example, but you can also do looking up a user profile, or looking up leaderboards, or looking at even the daily. There's also one for the daily. Stuff like that. And, you know, of course, it'll show the same way. Like, it'll show you what you searched up and what you got. They're all stored in different ways. As for what each of these things mean, I'm still trying to cipher that out. I'll probably, once I get this bot ready, I'll probably like make a list of what each thing is. But for now, I only know the level when you're looking up a level ID. So I wrote all this down. Well, what you have to do is, assuming you know coding, of course. I'm writing this in Python 3, so you get the URL, which is that database thing. That thing I showed you earlier, that's the thing you started with in the what we use to follow it. And then you type all this stuff that appeared in here, all of this, what you use to search. And since the string portion, I used 10 million because that's the ID. And but for this thing, since I'm making it so that it can search up in this particular code, I'm making it so that you can search up any level. So that can be like replaced with whatever level you put in here. And then you have to do URL, or what is it called? Get requests aren't the same through every coding language. I'm using this for Python, so however you find your thing, or however you get your get requests, you do that. And then you should get like a long list of a bunch. You should get this same list that appears here. You can split it, since everything's separated by colons. And I did that, and I wrote down the numbers of what each thing is. There's like, I think at least 60 different numbers, and I don't even know what like 90% of them are. But I know the important ones. I wrote down the list of the important ones from that old Geometry Dash library. And the important stuff, like the level ID, the name, the author, downloads, likes, the description, it requires a base 64 decode, the original ID if it was copied, and the length, which is a number. You know, 0 is tiny, 1 is short, 2 is medium, 3 is long, 4 is extra long. And then the difficulty, which is sorted by a bunch of different things. I don't know why. Just shows you how Top codes these things. You know, I put down these numbers because the entire list of this is sorted. And if you know how lists work, the first item in the list is 0, the second item in the list is 1, the third item in the list is 2, and so on. So I just recorded the position of each thing in the list, and that's where I got all of these numbers. So like the 54th thing in the list is the author. I know they're sorted weirdly. Here, for example, if I were to I'm streaming right now, so a lot of this stuff is being done on stream. So this is someone's ID that they requested, so I'll just show you, for example. I already formatted it so it looks nicer, but let me just show you what it looks like without all of the fancy stuff. So I just were to print the raw data. So it's this thing. No, wait, no, not that. This thing. See, look, it's a long list of all this information. This I can zoom in on. As you can see, just a bunch of numbers that don't make sense. I don't get them either. So that's why I recorded, you know, position of some of these things, because some of them are useful. Like, so number 1, which is the second place, would be the level ID. So there's the level ID. So then description is a long, it's this thing. It's just a bunch of weird letters, but you have to decode that, and then it gives you an actual description. And I decoded the thing in a separate thing. And then a bunch of other stuff. It also shows you the song and stuff. Like everything. I'm sure one of us will figure it out someday, but that's basically how you search up geometry database related things. So yeah, now you know how to get all this information, but the hard part is probably figuring out what you do with this information. So I'll see if I can figure out how to get all of the information, like the important stuff, like searching up profiles and whatnot, all of that. I'll code that into the bot. It's called Burnout Sam. That's the name of the bot. I'll link it in the GitHub. I don't know if it'll probably be posted by the time this highlight goes up. But yeah, just keep checking back if you want to see more of this. And work with it yourself. Like, get Wireshark, get Geometry Dash, just play around with database stuff. See what you can find. See if some of it actually works out. Because not this like outdated thing is probably not going to be reliable like farther in. But anyways, yeah. So that's the simple way of semi-hacking. It's not really hacking, but it's getting information from a database through scripts. So that's like semi-hacking. All right, there.